Hello, in this video I will be arguing why Alejandro Jodorowsky's failed attempt at creating a film based on Frank Herbert's sci-fi novel Dune resulted in the greatest cult film never made. To understand why, the qualities of great cult films must first be examined. To develop my argument, I will be referencing the documentary Jodorowsky's Dune, the cult film reader textbook, as well as other online sources. Cult films often contain one or more of the following qualities: fierce counterculture, obscene images, excessively long runtimes, scenes of spectacle, poor acting and set design, and problems behind the scenes. If Jodorowsky's Dune had been made, it would have had all of these in droves. The novel Dune is a space epic focused on a war over the desert planet Arrakis, also called Dune. Dune is the sole source of the drug melange, or spice, which expands the minds of the user, allowing them to comprehend the advanced math required for space travel. If taken in large quantities, spice can cause intense psychedelic effects. The book was a huge success and created a devoted following. However, Jodorowsky's vision differed greatly from the novel. In fact, when he first decided on making the movie, he hadn't even read the book, and most of his initial team had not read it while working on it. This has led many fans of the novel to be pleased he never filmed the movie. The question, should they have given Jodorowsky another shot, was proposed in the Dune subreddit. Responses include, no, it wouldn't have been a Dune movie, and it would have been an abomination, with the general consensus being a resounding no. Clearly, the cult following would not have come from fans of the book, but instead fans of artistic and surreal films, over-the-top camp, and depending on the final product, movies that are so bad they're good. The film would have been more representative of Jodorowsky's mind than Frank Herbert's pen. Jodorowsky had a deeply troubled childhood. Conceived by the rape of his mother, he grew up in an extremely troubled home. He escaped by immersing himself in psychedelic and surreal art, and his films showed this. His first big film, El Topo, was a hit despite containing a controversial rape scene. Richard Stanley, director of the cult film Hardware, called El Topo the original Midnight movie and the original cult film. Jodorowsky described his attempt at Dune as a prophet and the coming of a god. He stated he wanted to give viewers the experience of an acid trip without needing the drug. As for obscene images, Jodorowsky invented a graphic scene where the main character Paul is conceived from his castrated father placing a drop of blood in Paul's mother's vagina, impregnating her. With all the additions he made to the source material, Jodorowsky's script would have resulted in a 14-hour movie. Even with extensive edits, it would still have been far too long by Hollywood standards, and this is exactly what Jodorowsky wanted. Scenes of spectacle would be provided by complicated, long shots of galactic battles, sci-fi planets, and psychedelic images like a flaming giraffe. Much of the potential greatness and problems of the film stems from the crew brought together that Jodorowsky called his warriors. Jean Mobius Girard, the genius French cartoonist, was brought in to do the storyboard. Through him, Jodorowsky shot his film by describing his vision to Mobius, who drew an incredibly detailed storyboard containing dialogue and camera movements. H.R. Geiger was brought in to do the concept art for the film. He would later be hired to make concept art for the film Alien. The art made for the film has developed its own fan following and has been incredibly influential on later films. As for actors, he got Rolling Stones frontman Mick Jagger, artist Salvador Dali, singer Amanda Lear, and filmmaker Orson Welles to agree to work with him. The only actual actor, Welles, was notoriously moody and hard to work with. He only agreed to work when Jodorowsky said he would hire the chef from one of Welles's favorite Parisian restaurants to cook for him on set. Similarly excessive, Dali was going to be paid $100,000 per minute of screen time. On paper, they were perfect for their roles, especially Welles as the morbidly obese, tyrannical baron of the evil Harkonnens, and Dali as the mad emperor of the universe. However, between the inexperience and massive egos on that list, what would have been put to film would most likely have been atrocious. The endless script and ensuing budget problems would mean that multiple takes would not have been an option, and any mistakes would therefore be left in like in early Midnight movies. As for the set and special effects, Jodorowsky was preparing scenes that would have been in no way possible in the mid-70s. The costumes designed for the film contain elements of camp and some even have strong drag influences. The film was to be hyper-masculine, as seen by the script and Jodorowsky's team of all-male warriors. Andrew Ross wrote, "In popular rock culture today, the most masculine images are signified by miles of coiffured hair, layers of gaudy makeup, and a complete range of fetishistic body accessories. Dune's costumes reflect this ideology, especially Mick Jagger's. This could potentially attract a strong LGBT following, just as drag did for Rocky Horror Picture Show." Overall, Jodorowsky's Dune had the potential to cement itself as a cult classic if it ever saw the light of day. Even unfinished, it had created a cult following of those who simply know of it and what it could have been.